Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
How non-existent Dak Prescott talks impact Cowboys' CeeDee Lamb negotiations. If quarterback Dak Prescott's next contract is the first domino to fall, it might be a while before the Dallas Cowboys are able to sign prolific wide receiver CeeDee Lamb to a new deal. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, there hasn't been any progress or any substantive talks on an extension that lowers Prescott's $61 million cap number for the 2024 season, which in turn makes it difficult to negotiate with the likes of Lamb, All-Pro linebacker Micah Parsons, and the Cowboys' other star players, but their negotiations so far with Doc have been described to me as passive or even non-existent. Fowler said, during a Sunday appearance on ESPN's SportsCenter, there really hasn't been anything going on. So their actions are saying that maybe if they have to sit on his $61 million cap hit this year, then figure it out late, then they'll do that. They've been fiscally responsible, not really spending any money, so they know they have to address this at some point in the offseason. The Cowboys and Prescott previously mutually agreed that the quarterback would play out the final year of his contract this upcoming season, but Lamb remains very much in limbo. Emerging as one of the league's most prolific receivers, Lamb is coming off a stellar 2023 campaign in which he caught 135 passes for a career-high 1,749 yards with 12 receiving touchdowns. According to Fowler, though, Lamb has to get in line behind Prescott before any deal gets done. My sense is they need to figure out the Dak Prescott situation first, Fowler said, of any potential Lamb negotiations. Cowboys predicted to make surprise trade for Steelers RB. The Dallas Cowboys have reunited with Ezekiel Elliott, but they are now being linked to a trade for a Pittsburgh Steelers running back after the Steelers announced that they were not picking up the fifth-year option on RB Najee Harris's contract. The rumor mill has been working at full strength. However, the possible trade could be a rumor and nothing else. 93.7 The Fan's Adam Crowley addressed the initial links and then discussed the possibility. So here's the hot Steelers trade rumor. It comes from one guy from Fansided and the other guy from Bleacher Report, so I don't know if it's the most credible thing. I also don't know if it's not, because both of those guys say they have Steelers sources, and the rumor is this: the Dallas Cowboys could be interested in trading for Najee Harris. Crowley said on May 6th, while the possibility is exciting, the validity of the reports has already been hit. NFL Network's Jane Slater responded to the development by quickly claiming it is just the rumor mill at work. On these Najee Harris and Cowboys reports, team source tells me clickbait, Slater wrote on X. Considering that Slater works for the NFL, it's hard to believe the initial reports. Harris could be leaving Steelers. On the surface, Harris leaving Pittsburgh doesn't make sense. He made the Pro Bowl as a rookie in 2021 and has totaled 1,200-plus yards from scrimmage in each of his 3 seasons, but the reality is that the Steelers have 3 viable RBs, and Harris might be too expensive. As Pro Football Reference shows, Harris exploded onto the scene in 2021. He racked up 1,667 total yards and 10 touchdowns, making the Pro Bowl but missing on the All-Pro squad. In the past 2 years since 2021, Harris has still been productive, but the averages aren't great. Harris has been fed a lot of touches, but has only averaged 3.9 yards per rush in his career. That's not abysmal, but it's not the kind of production that causes teams to extend an RB. In an era where RBs are more undervalued than ever, bailing on a player like Harris makes more sense than reinvesting. This is especially true considering that Jalen Warren is the team's most dynamic RB, and the addition of Cordarrelle Patterson adds another physical option. Patterson may not be at Harris's level anymore, but he provides a similar dimension to the Pittsburgh running game. Cowboys bring back Zeke for any prospective move for an RB may seem out of the Cowboys' budget, but Dallas spent very little on bringing back Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke was once the highest-paid RB in the NFL, but is now one of Dallas' cheapest contracts. According to Spotrac, Elliott is set to make $2 million for the 2024 season. Elliott will make $1.25 million in salary, and will receive the rest via his signing and roster bonuses. Even though Zeke has passed his prime, that is great value for a reliable bruiser RB. Plus, there is plenty of incentive for Elliott to try and earn a better deal after his 1-year contract is up. Cowboys draft haul questioned by analyst. Going backwards. Jerry Jones insisted earlier this offseason that the Dallas Cowboys are all in on the 2024 season. And while the franchise's approach to free agency casts doubt on Jones' statement, the franchise did address some key needs during the 2024 NFL Draft. Following key losses along the line of scrimmage this offseason, the Cowboys invested 5 of 8 selections in fortifying the offensive and defensive lines. NFL Media's Bucky Brooks put together a list of his favorite draft classes across the league and one team that left him scratching his head. The Cowboys haul earned the latter dubious distinction. Though Prescott and the Cowboys have been at their best when the front line dominates the trenches, Brooks writes, the questions surrounding Tyler Guyton, a raw prospect, and Cooper Beebe, underwhelming traits, make it hard to comprehend the team's draft strategy, especially considering the other prospects who are on the board. If Guyton and Beebe fail to make a swift transition to the NFL in year one, the Cowboys' offense could struggle to move the ball consistently against top opponents, with the team failing to pick up plug-and-play prospects at running back and wideout. The offense will need serious contributions from a retread in the backfield, Ezekiel Elliott, and possibly a 6th-round receiver, Ryan Flournoy. At the moment, this feels like a team that's moving backward, not going all in. For a franchise at a pivotal juncture led by a head coach and quarterback on lame duck contracts and whose only marquee offseason addition was a veteran linebacker, the Cowboys are placing immense pressure on its incoming draft class to make key contributions in key spots immediately. Former NFL GM weighs in on Cowboys' Tyler Guyton selection. The Cowboys' first-round selection of Guyton has drawn mixed reviews, with the Oklahoma tackle considered a raw project by some analysts and NFL evaluators. However, former Minnesota Vikings general manager and current CBS Sports analyst Rick Spielman believes the Cowboys filled one of their most pressing needs by tabbing Guyton at number 29 overall. I wouldn't be surprised if they move him over to the left side, Spielman says. I know that he played on the right side at Oklahoma, but he's more than athletic enough to move over to the left side. I do like his aggressiveness and the style that he plays with. This was a huge need that Dallas had to fill. And I bet that if they put him over at left tackle, he'd be the starter, and you can keep Tyler Smith at guard, where I think he's better at guard than he is at left tackle. If Guyton is ready to step in and play at a high level immediately, it would soften much of the blow from the Cowboys being unable to re-sign Tyron Smith in free agency last season in Norman. Guyton didn't allow a sack while surrendering 3 quarterback hits and 9 total hurries, according to Pro Football Focus. From strictly a tools perspective, Senior Bowl Executive Director Jim Nagy recently told Heavy, you could make a good case he's the highest ceiling tackle in this draft. Tyler just does things athletically these other guys can't do. He's so light on his feet, it just looks like he's floating sometimes. Even though he's played right tackle in college, he's a high-level left tackle athlete. Ezekiel Elliott's Cowboys contract details revealed. The Cowboys are bringing back Ezekiel Elliott, and the veteran running back is returning on a team-friendly contract. According to a report from the Star-Telegram, Elliott is set to play on a 1-year contract worth $3 million, including $2 million guaranteed, returning to the Cowboys after spending 1 season with the New England Patriots. Elliott rushed for 642 yards with 3 touchdowns while starting the final 3 games of the 2023 campaign. This was my priority, doing what I could to get back here. Elliott told Clarence Hill Jr. of the Star-Telegram, I have a lot left to accomplish here. I'm excited to get back with the fellas and chase that ring.